So I was looking for a Bill Burr soundboard.
Oh, right.
So I could just...
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, there was an "Oh Jesus" button. I was pressing it, was like, nothing's happening. This is soul destroying.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
I bought that as a ringtone. I remember he was selling it. He was selling it on one of the podcasts, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. You just download it as a WAV file back when you did that for like ringtones and stuff. And he was just like, yeah, just put it as a ringtone to people you don't like. I sent him an email being like, I never realised how many people on my phone I don't like before now.
Because
I'd applied it to pretty much everybody.
Oh, gee. Yeah. What's an APK file? It's lost. It's too much. It's warm in here.
Is it?
I wore a shirt.
Well,
It was like cool.
I want to
at my
look
house.
presentable.
Well, at my house is just a bit more. The weather keeps fluctuating. The temperature keeps fluctuating.
Yeah.
So keep jumping in between everything. I was like, I just need like a good balance. And then I think the drive over here warmed up.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Insulation.
Yeah. Feeling good.
Good start.
Yeah, ready to rock.
I'm ready.
Marketing meeting.
In
Yeah,
3,
we'll have a quick marketing.
2, 1.
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Something to be fucking do.
If you don't know what you're doing, we figure it out for you. Like, if you've not got any idea how you want to promote yourself, we'll figure it out. That's all it is.
Fair enough.
Which is pretty much
not like-
everything I've made as well. Like,
It's not generating ideas, more
No,
like
but it's
managing
yeah,
a thing.
yeah.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that's my downfall at the moment. That's the thing I realised with a lot of stuff is the whole procrastination thing is take like the website, for example.
Yeah.
I announced to you today
To me.
that we now technically have a website that does stuff. Not a lot, but it does stuff. And I realised that when we think about, I can do a website, my brain immediately goes to all these incredible things because I'm technically a web developer.
Yeah.
I can do all these cool things that could be interesting, like do our own version of Google Analytics that combines loads of different stuff and be able to manage all of our social media stuff from our website somewhere. Could be quite cool. But then, like, when it comes to actually doing it, it's like, well, what do we actually want the homepage to be? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Videos. Yeah, but videos in what order? You go, I don't know. The question I posed to you was, should the first video on the page be the most recent episode or the most recent clip? Because it could be a highlight, it could be a video. What do you want? Then you got to think about it, and it's just my brain doesn't go to that point. I have to manually put my brain into that gear to be like, I've got an idea. And then I need to make it into actually something. So you go like, well, step 1. Well, we had an official marketing meeting last time.
We did. Not a 40-second one. More like a 40-minute one.
Yeah, it's actually like a proper one. We sat down for Stoke-Con-Trent.
Yeah.
That was me trying to put my brain into that gear where you go like, we've got a certain amount of table space on the booth.
Yeah.
What do we want to put on it? And the only way I could do it was picture it in my mind and go like, well, what do we want in it? A photo of a cat. All right. Then what else do we need? Well, we need an altar for the glorious leader. Which is I'm still happy with it. I thought it might be an idea we had in our marketing meeting.
Yeah.
Of how to interact with people on the booth, because we're like, how are we going to talk? What we're going to talk to these people about? We've got a podcast. You won't like it.
Probably not.
Go away. So we've decided that. We need like a representative. More than a representative, we need like a cult leader.
Which
for a cult following.
It's our style of representative.
We want a cult. We like cult following, so we might as well find a cult leader to represent our cult.
Yeah.
So we're going to democratically elect a glorious leader.
Yeah.
He will be unquestioned. at the
Via
Stoke-Con-Trent.
a comic book convention.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know how sad I'm going to be if Boba Fett doesn't sign up.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's going to be a Dalek walking around. Like, can he enter in? I mean...
At the very least,
she...
At the very least, it'd be good to have a photo of him amongst a group of very normal-looking people.
Yeah. And yeah, the idea is just we want to have again, it's the same thing as what we want to do with like sponsors, like do crossovers with podcasts where we're not like promoting their podcast only, we're also characterizing them and having fun and jokes with those people.
Yeah, making them out to be war criminals.
Yeah, anything just for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And so we thought might as well get people into it, but we haven't really figured out what the Glorious Leader would do. But the kind of idea is they're the leader of everything. So everything that we do will probably have to hypothetically check with this person.
Yeah.
And just be like, well, the Glorious Leader did it. And then if anyone offends the Glorious Leader, if the Glorious Leader goes to a barbecue, we can report on, in a very North Korea way, on how excellent and splendid the barbecue was. So just as like a featured guest that never comes on the show. Just a representative for the show. It seems like that would be quite a fun idea.
And a representative for the audience as well.
Yeah.
Be quite nice.
Yeah, and then, they don't have to do anything if they don't want to, but they're more than welcome to do as much as they want. As a Glorious Leader, would you like to, have an input into anything in any way? You want to have a chat with us?
Yeah.
You want to make a request, a shout out, whatever?
Yeah.
Well, the Glorious Leader wants us to do this.
Because, I mean, like, part of me, when we first started talking about it, was like, I'd like the guy to not know he's our leader. Like,
yeah, there can be that, I guess, yeah.
But...
Get people to vote for him.
Again, that doesn't really help with the audience interaction style of thing. But part of me was just like, it would be nice
if we could interpret their movements.
If we could get all of these people to worship this guy and for this guy to just not realise he's being worshipped.
Yes, I remember now. That was the root of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the thought of it. Because, we can make somebody a celebrity within our group.
Yeah.
And just make them an incredible person. It's like when he runs a fish and chip shop. And we just thought we'd start posting his posters around town. Yeah. Just like him saying what a great guy he is.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they can sue you for libel. What have you said? Yeah. He's a nice bloke.
We think his name's Gary.
Yeah.
All hail Gary. So do anything to kind of mess around with somebody.
But we'll fine tune it all.
Yeah. Still in the fine tuning process. But it does still feels like a good idea, something to do. So in trying to put my brain into some kind of productive management mode, I keep on saying manager, there's the thing in my head, but I don't think it is. Where it's like the in-between, kind of like an agent or something.
Agent of chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, no, look, you can't make a Tim Allen minute month because you haven't got the CGI budget for it. That's what I need. Yeah. I just need to start employing myself in that role every now and then. To be like, before you get too far ahead of yourself, you can't put heads on spikes. I think that was the idea I wanted for Tim Allen.
Because that's such a Tim Allen move.
Well, his neighbour. His head on a fence post. Yeah. Just like loads of those, I think it was. Like, that'd be great. I wonder if I can do that. And I'm like, I could do it in crayon. Yeah. Name that actor. Fine. However it is. So I can't remember how much of that was inside the marketing meeting today or not, was the idea generation thing. It's having... That's my downfall at the moment. I think I'm trying to figure out is I'll have loads of ambitious thoughts and you go like, well, practicality first, get something moving. Rather than having all these ideas, and I've thought about all the different ways I could do all these very ambitious things on the website, and you go like, but page 1, what the fuck are you going to put on it? Yeah. Figure that out first.
I think the best idea with anything that I've found is to just, whatever the ideas are, because I think we have the same thing, which is like we have so many ideas and we never actually hone it down. Yeah. So we just don't do it. So like what I've found like with the business side of things is to, whatever the idea is, just write them all down and then start cutting it down from there. But that feels because I always try before to just kind of edit that list in my head, and it doesn't edit. Like it's just you
just start back at page 1 and go through it again, and then back at page 1. Yeah, I've had that with like I've always thought it would be a good idea to write down all the comedy bit stories that I've told or that I've written in my head. Yeah, and say there's like 4 And it's like, well, if I just wrote them down, then at least I'd have a hard copy and I could then work on it from time to time. But that just feels like too much work. So that's why I need something like Social Media Sundays.
Yeah.
Where it's like, today's the day I've got to put in a shift. And
Yeah.
if I'm on shift, then I'm fine.
I like Joe Rogan's thing though. Like Joe Rogan's got this relationship with his family where it's just like, if I come up with an idea, I'm just going to put my fingers in my ears and leave the room, no matter what's going on, and I'm just going to go and immediately write it down because it's so easy to lose that idea, or for it to at the very least become watered down or changed from what it was when you first thought of it and thought this is brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. There was an interesting thing, Seinfeld and I think Tom Papa do, where they don't do anything before 12. Like that's time for them to kind of think and do whatever.
Yeah.
It's something along those lines.
That's
and
bizarre,
it might
man.
not be every day, but they're like, yeah, I don't, do things with my family or anything. Just wake up. Like, I'll have lunch with you guys. But
Yeah.
in the morning, I'm going to do my own thing. And it's something like, as soon as you dedicate that time, and there's a whole thing about, I think Joey...
as in they don't do anything but work before 12.
Yeah, or have it open. No meetings before 12.
Right, that makes more
no
sense. I was
calls
going to say,
before
like,
12,
my
no
most
breakfast,
productive
no
hours are in the
family.
morning. Like,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
afternoon,
yeah.
it can start getting a bit laxed.
No
But-
appointments before 12. I think it's something like that, where
Yeah.
it's like, when I'm not going to meet you for breakfast.
Yeah.
But I think it's also to the point where, they work on their own stuff, so they won't necessarily have breakfast with their family. They're just like, in the mornings, I'm going to do my morning thing, and then at least my morning has been productive. It's something along those lines, anyway. And then, I think Joey Diaz had always enforced something along the lines of never working on a Sunday, or something like that. And a lot of
Is that
comedians
a religious
go
thing
like,
for him? 'Cause he's
that and a go fuck yourself kind of thing, where he does other stuff. Might be religious, but just having enforced rules of this is my structure and this is how I'm going to operate.
Yeah.
And I think it's too easy to fall into the pit of, well, I'll just do everything all the time, because then you won't do everything most of the time.
Yeah.
You need to be like, you need to figure out what your shift is, and if I'm on shift, I'm there and I'm present. But if I wake up on a Sunday and I'm like, I might do something today, it's like, nah, it's not going to happen. So it might do, but very rarely. So no, just on shift, social media Sundays. That's when I'm going to do all the social media stuff.
Yeah. To be honest, like the thing that's just changed my life is just it's just a schedule, like just writing everything down, and not like a fixed weekly thing, but like I've got like a book, it's like a scheduling thing that breaks down days hour by hour. And like literally, when I go to bed one night, I plan the next day.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't work out. You fuck up the hours, and like some things take longer than before. But because you've written it down, it's like your visualization thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like what does that thing look like? What does that day look like? Like because you've got it in your head, like you're so much more likely to actually get it done.
If you're actively thinking about it as well, say you wanted to go running every morning, you need to, before you go to bed, and previous day be like, right, well, tomorrow I'm getting up at 6 and I'm running.
Yeah.
That means when you go to bed, you might be more tired because you know you have to wake up. You'll be more, when you wake up, your brain's already, well, it's 6 o'clock and I'm going running this morning, so here I go. Whereas most people just be like, I'll try and get up at 6 to do a run, and then it'll also be like, well, I'll see how I feel when I wake up. Whereas if you visualize it, if you've scheduled it, if it's in your mind clearly that that's what's going to happen, more likely than not it's going to happen. And that's the whole placebo effect, isn't it? It's like, if you take I've said before that lemonade relieves nausea for me purely because of my upbringing.
Yeah.
There's no scientificness in it at all that I can think of, but it's because my brain goes, well, we believe, we have faith that that's what's going to happen. So this is what happens. And the more you think about it, the more you visualize something, the more it's going to come to be. So just being more organized is the thing. And it's just weird when you get ahead of yourself. It's like, oh yeah, all these cool stuff I could do. And you're like, yeah, but what are you doing now? And what's going on now? What have you done today? What are you doing this morning? What have you created of substance today?
Yeah.
So that was a big push for me for the website, but it was getting longer and longer, the list of things I wanted to do. So then I just kind of simplified it down and was like, well, at least now if you go to pullingteethpodcast.com, it works. There's a pullingteeth.co.uk and a pullingteeth.com that are like reserved, that just aren't being used.
Right.
I looked at them today because someone was asking about some kind of domain thing on a forum. And there's lots I forgot that because that happened in like years and years ago, where people would just buy the domain, like say someone bought google.com, then Google would buy it off them when they started off. So loads of people have bought like videogame.club
Yeah.
And it's like £5,000, and it's like
No.
such a weird thing. I guess it's like a gambling investment.
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe. But like, there's companies that like their whole thing is buying up well, like website domains. I've had it when I was working in marketing for various places. You get cold callers calling you up, being like, "Good news! Like these domains that we've got would score well on the kind of SEO things that you're going for," and it would be like so close to like the company's actual name. But they've obviously just gone and bought them up in the hope that we'll just be like, "Yeah, no, we're going to need that from you." It's like, that's great. That'll be 10 grand.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you! You
crazy.
just paid 40 quid for it.
Well, I saw. I don't know how much you want to cross over. But yeah, I saw you posted for your cinematography thing that Yell was cold calling
Oh,
you.
those twats!
And Yell for.
I'm waiting
is that
for a
Yellow
cease and
Pages?
desist. I would love a cease and desist.
Yell, that's Yellow Pages,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And yeah, they said you need to pay them 50 quid, 52 quid a
Yeah,
month.
so I submitted my thing as like because you can submit to Yell for free, like your companies and everything like that, and it just lists you in a directory, which is fine,
Right.
it's normal. And then I got some twat calling me up and was like, "Hello, I'm your assigned digital marketing agent from Yell. How you doing?" Like he's like, and like I can't remember his name. I want to say it was Dermot, but that seems really stereotypical. And like he did this like screen share thing with me, and he took me through like he spent an hour on the phone with me, like taking me through all this marketing stuff. And I was listening to him because I was just like, some of this is quite useful. And
Yeah,
I
could
know
be.
you're gonna go for the fucking hard sell at the end on some bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's basically like at the end of the phone call, he's like, so for just like £52 a month, like we can submit your business to all of these places. I was like, can I just do that?
Yeah.
Like, well,
Technically.
not as efficiently or some bullshit.
Not with the weird finger walking icon right next to it.
Yeah, and like the line that fucking pissed me off was, "Don't you understand that you will not be able to reach your goals without doing this?" Like they literally said that.
Will
It's
resist
like,
you.
I'm sorry. Like when Amazon started up, did they come to you? Like there's plenty of businesses that have gotten there without giving Yell £52 a month. Shut up, you stupid twat.
I've always found sales really funny, really weird. I mean, I get similar harassment from Virgin Media just because I've got a Virgin Media internet account. And it's fine. I'm happy with it. I've not had that many problems with it. Had a few, but they keep calling me to like upgrade or add other stuff, and I'm just like, no, I don't care. We'd like to hear how you're enjoying it. Well, I don't want to tell you how I'm enjoying it. I'm busy. They always call at wrong moments. And there was this one where there's like, I think I'm on like a 20 megabyte or 100 megabyte internet thing, something fast. And they were like, well, we can actually double that for £1 a month. I was like, okay, so tell me the deal. And he goes, oh, well, you'd also get Virgin Media TV and you'll get all this and all this.
No.
Like, oh, I don't want any of that. Yeah, but it's only £1 a month. It's like, okay, can I just have it, the upgrade for £1 a month? Well, how about we send you the TV box package and you just don't open it? No, I don't want this. Like the deal was only applicable if you took the other packages, and I was just like, "Well, I don't want."
So
any
you
of
have
that.
to pay for those packages.
No, the
And
pound.
then they'll
It's
give
like
you this
you
for
pay
£1.
the pound, and then like you'll probably get a trial or something,
Right.
and then like a year or two down the line, they'll be like, "Oh, you can add all these TV packages."
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of what do they call it? They call it some kind of a slow investment or a something investment where you pay money for investors now or something, and then you get it later.
Yeah.
Some kind of sales technique. And just the amount of times where I'm just like, look, I don't want this. Can you please stop calling me? And I've worked at a cold calling center for a week. I just couldn't take.
That's where you screamed.
Oh, that was another place. I was a filer there. I just filed papers in a box and was just like, well, I'm just going to scream. This place was a house of cards where I think I went to tried to find human resources, and it was a cupboard that didn't have anything in it. Like it was like a week of training, and the training was read this script.
Yeah.
And the training was we don't talk about politics in the workplace. And they had a representative from HR come and tell us, talk about stuff, and I didn't like I wanted to complain about my manager because he was being a dick, and I was like, this is a horrible existence. I was like, I'm going to talk to HR. And he's like, good luck. So I just walked around the building, and there was just the paper, like an A4 paper, blue tacked to a door. Opened it. It's just a cupboard. Went to the website. It was just like a shady as fuck website, and it was just like, oh, this is just like a pop-up operation. And just like quickly try and get some money in, and then they'll change the name. And you know, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was a PPI thing.
Right.
It was one of those, and I just couldn't do it. But when I would call people, I wouldn't do the script because it was just a horrible existence to be an answering machine. But the amount of times people would be like, oh, can you stop calling me? So I took it upon it myself as the duty to be like, look, I completely understand what you're saying. But technically I can't remove you from the database until I've asked you specifically if you want to do that. So can I do that? And then I promise you'll be taken off the database. Just slowly cleaning up their database just by being like, I'm really sorry. But their point is they can't take you off until they ask you directly. So if you hang up, you're still on the database.
Right.
So whenever I get cold callers, I just repeat, leave me alone, stop it. I've even started just screaming when I start getting, because I love a good scream anyway.
Yeah.
But just screaming when there's an unknown number. Because my new favourite hatred, I mean, it must be, everyone must hate it, is the automated system pretending to be a person.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my headset's a bit funky.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it just starts screaming profanities. Screaming at the walls. Neighbours don't like me anymore.
Oh.
But yeah.
I started just, particularly at work as well, when I'm dealing with customers and things, my phone starts going, like, I'll pick it up and just leave it on the desk.
Yeah, some people used to do that. There's a bit somebody had about that. I can't remember. Around the Jack D era, I think. Yeah, something about leaving it on the side. I thought that might have been you from uni, and then I think it was Jack D.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, there's not much to be done about it. And yeah, for the amount of people, and they're just trying to cash in on companies that have got too much money. You know, they're looking for expenses so that their profit margins change.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you can just spend like £600 on social media a month. It's like, okay, fair enough. Jesus Christ.
I literally said to this guy, look, that could be the difference between me making my mortgage next month and not being able to. And he was just like, well, maybe we can...
won't
maybe
make
we
your
can
targets without us.
Maybe we can reduce that for you. He's like, how's £40 a month? I was like, mate, if I had 40 quid a month spare, I'd go to the gym. Like, I'm not giving it to you.
Yeah, especially for the yellow pages. It's another weird thing where they're trying to cling to relevant.
Yeah.
We're relevant because we're an online directory of phone numbers and companies, and that doesn't exist anywhere.
What he was saying was that Siri uses yellow pages.
Okay.
Like, if you ask for a business or something, they pull that information off yellow pages. If you ask Siri, where's the nearest blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay.
Quick, where's the nearest cinematographer?
Like,
I need a video right now.
Yeah, well, that's just it.
I don't want to walk very far.
Who on earth is going to be, like, asking Siri
Where's
for, like,
Steve?
video production services?
Where's the nearest funeral home?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh,
Yeah.
yay. Hooray.
But before he said that, he said, I know you don't want to hear this, but... It's like, well... It's obviously a fucking pointless fact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's oh, God, it was just irritating.
But it's another one of those things. It's the... that I think we both have always enjoyed is just independence. Doing things independently without doing all that kind of stuff. Whether it's like, look, I just even if you're not on the internet, just be like, I've just started doing something and I'm just doing it and I don't care.
Yeah.
And if it works, brilliant. If it doesn't, I just don't want to have to talk to you people. You people being marketers and marketing people and cold callers and all that kind of stuff.
I was in marketing
you
for
on
long
LinkedIn?
enough.
If you're not on LinkedIn,
Oh,
like,
God.
okay, fine, whatever you say.
I was in marketing for long enough to get a good idea of what I need to do for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need other people fucking calling me and telling me.
Well, the weird thing with the podcast one is this whole search engine optimization thing. They're saying in order to gain it, you should have transcripts of your entire episodes, like stored as a on your website somewhere. And I go like, I can kind of understand why that might be okay.
Yeah.
Because they argue, the deaf still want to read podcasts. And you go, okay, I can understand that. But like...
I don't want to meet the person that wants to read our podcast.
Well, just... I think you gotta... If your podcast was 10 minutes long or half an hour long, maybe. If it was scripted, sure.
Yeah.
But... like an hour and a half of free-form conversation translated by YouTube.
Yeah.
Or translated by some kind of automated algorithm, because I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could, but it's like, no, that's time.
I'd want to see the word count on like, yeah, and
Yeah. And then, yeah,
quite high.
Well, they're saying that if you have these notes, then search engine optimization will find you. And I've come to the realization, again, to the website was kind of like, it felt kind of official to be doing it, so a lot of thinking around it. And it was like, well, who do we want to come to our YouTube page? Who do you want to come to our website? Both of those. And you go like, well, like, should we have a video or an image thing that shows you how to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you didn't know?
Yeah.
And you go, no. Fuck those people. Like, I don't. If you don't know, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's not even like disregard. It is disregarding them, but not disrespecting them. It's just like, if you don't know how to subscribe to YouTube,
you're probably not watching it.
Then we want to help people with tech, but we need to have some kind of level of base understanding of tech to be able to help you in the way that we can. Yeah. It can't be like, by the way, you need to plug it in first. You know, you need to be able to turn it on. Yeah. You'd be like, if you need that kind of help, then we're not able to do that. It just wouldn't work.
How bummed are people really going to be? Like, oh no, I can't subscribe.
Yeah, but
I don't know how to subscribe.
It's how many, because we want to get to know more people. We want to.
You're scraping the bottom of the barrel if you're aiming at those people,
and because you're saying
they're lesser, but just that they're probably not your audience.
That, and you're having to teach somebody from the very, very basics of something. So, say if somebody wanted us to wanted to start a podcast in our local area and they didn't really know what to do, we could help them. But I don't think they'll need to be at a certain level of understanding. And that level of understanding is being able to use the internet. Yeah. As in being able to navigate around. Yeah. Like we can point, like it's the difference between like we can show them a really good informative video or we can show them a website that has the gear that they need, but we're not going to take their credit card and make their payments for them. Yeah. It's like you need to be able to do that. So.
Well, I used to work for a guy that I had to print off his emails.
Yeah.
And give them to him. Yeah. Like they were on his computer, but no, print off the ones that I need and collate them and I will go through them every day. Yeah. It's like, okay. Well, I'm not going to teach that guy how to podcast.
Yes, exactly. And it's not that we're going to turn those people away. It's like, well, you need to learn you learn this first. And it's very simple. So in terms of, trying to figure out what in terms of should we have transcripts on our website, you'd be like, if you are able to get transcripts of our podcasts because there's subtitles on YouTube at the very worst, and you'll probably get more information if you've got no audio input. If you're watching the video of us talking about it, then you'll be able to interact, and we're more than happy to interact. But yeah, in terms of let's have a page that's just like a script of 150 episodes of just text that is going to be automatically generated and is free-form conversation anyway, so you're going to lose a lot of stuff. You go like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. No. And it's the same thing. That's one of the things that ties into people before they start doing anything creative. Yeah. This is where it's all coming back to, is there's lots of people who think, well, I've got to be on Yell and I've got to pay them 52 quid a month in order to even be taken seriously. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to be on all of this, and I've got to have 3 episodes in the bank, and I've got to do... There's so many obstacles that I put in my way that I think everybody puts in their way. Still my favourite example is the laundry basket example, where if there's a laundry basket full of dirty laundry that you need doing and you leave it by your door, there'll be part of you that won't want to take it to the washing machine, even though you're going to the kitchen or wherever it is, because you're just putting things off. And what we like is independent creativity of just like, well, they went and just did it. Yeah. So just like, well, I know people say you have to do this, you have to do X, Y, Z, you need to do this, but we just did it anyway. Yeah. And we did it because we enjoy it. We're not doing it because we want to be incredibly successful. We're just doing it.
Well,
So.
our mutual friend, guy that that filmed you at the last con, Art.
The bastard. The guy, yeah.
He's
a good guy. That came out.
Yeah.
I was trying to be jovial and bantering. It came out. Oh, the prick. Yeah. No, Art's a legend. It's fine.
No, he's been working on a vlog for his band. Like, good bands. Like, I've like helped them with their like music video and all of that. And he sent it to me like tonight. It was just like, so what do you think? Like from an editing perspective, and I like gave him like, yeah, this and this, like this would be good to add to it, but as it is, like just let it go, let it put it out. And I think he's at the same stage with it as a lot of people are when they first start doing things, which is, well, it's not good enough to be out yet. And my attitude now, because I very much used to be that person.
Yeah.
And now I'm just no, you've made it, put it out, move on to the next. Don't keep working on this because it's not going to get that much better. You need to experience more and make more.
Yeah.
So just put it out.
Yeah, and it's as well. It's a different narrative for it. I think that you realise something like think of anything that you enjoyed. Wayne's World, right? If Wayne's World wasn't Wayne's World when it was Wayne's World the film. Wayne's World as a concept was not the concept of Wayne's World in the film when it came out on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
it was just an idea, a joke, kind of worked, and then they let it evolve. And not because other people saw it and then they gave us suggestions. It's like, no, you got to play around with it when you make. It's such a douchebag example. When you're doing pottery, right? You don't go straight from water to vase. You've got to work with the clay and see what it grows into. What you got to make the vase come out of the clay.
Right.
But it's that narrative where instead of, you don't want a finished product. I wouldn't want it if the only thing I saw was finished products. It wouldn't be as interesting. You go like Bill Burr's podcast is very interesting to see years ago and look back on how he started off and how it's changed, how it stayed the same, what kind of works, what kind of didn't, things he tried, things with sponsors that didn't work, all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting as well to see that as like, this is just project 1. I'm going to do 1,000. So just the first thing I've done this, I've tried it. I could wait until for some reason it's perfect, but I go like, no, this is a good draft. There you go, that's done, and the next one will be better.
Yeah.
But instead, people, it's very easy to kind of be like, I don't want to make it real yet. Same way that they don't want to take their laundry basket to the washing machine, because then life is real.
Yeah.
And then have to accept it. So yeah, I think there's a lot of resistance with people for doing loads of stuff, and the only thing stopping them is usually themselves, which was the same for us. So yeah,
100%. Like we recorded for fucking 4 or 5 months before we put anything out. There's no reason for it. I mean, there were some fuck ups that I was just like, well, no, I don't want that showing out. Trial. There's some things where it was just like, no, that's useless. But for the most part, it was all fine. It was just dragging our feet. Like, no, it's got to be right.
Yeah, and then again, the same thing with this podcast as it stands now. You go, there's probably if we went to some kind of manager, some kind of what do they call it? Like a marketing manager or something like that. Yeah. They could probably say, well, why don't you do more stuff on PewDiePie, or why don't you do more stuff on on politics, or why don't you do more stuff on this? You'll get more views. And you go, yeah, we probably could if we made. I mean, we've moved a little bit more towards being more like the highlight clips being a little bit more independent, but that still works, and especially in the context of it. You just go like, yeah, but if we had like clickbaity titles, if we jumped on all the fads, and if we did all this kind of stuff, it wouldn't feel like the podcast anymore. Yeah. It would then be we're trying to make something else.
Yeah, so it's striking a balance between doing enough to get new eyes on you, while also sort of keeping it actually what you wanted to make in the first place.
Yeah, and just enjoying it. And then the thing that I've said before, like there's people who listen to podcasts for facts and to be factual, and I guess to be educational in some way. But that's not the kind of podcast that we listen to, and that's not necessarily the podcast we want here.
Yeah.
You may learn something. I mean, you can push a dead baby on a swing and it's not illegal. Like, that's actually been prescribed to push their dead baby on that swing. That's happened. It's happened. It's true. That's what doctors say. True fact. There's loads of things that we should be doing in order to be a podcast or whatever you want to say. And you go like, yeah, but we're just going to do our thing.
Yeah.
And then if it works, it works. If we enjoy it, we know people who enjoy it. So we're just going to keep on enjoying it if that's okay.
Yeah.
And then see what happens. Yeah. So you don't have to subscribe to the yellow pages to be a business.
No.
Is basically what we're saying. You don't
Fuck
need
those
to be
people.
You don't need to be perfect to be live, to be on air, to be creating anything.
No.
You just need to be enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And then just figure it out as you go, and it'll be fun. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah. Anyway, that's half an hour of us talking about ourselves.
Yeah, I looked at the analytics. So we had a clip recently called "Racist Sex Robots." Right,
yeah.
And it got a little. It's randomly, it just got a little bit more views than
bit of a
our other
spike.
ones. It could because of the fleshlight on the robot that I did notice after you pointed it out. But yeah, I also found it quite funny that the majority of people stopped watching it after a minute. Which you go like, again, we're not. It's not clickbaity. We're talking about racist sex robots and people's racism against robots and how robots should be gender neutral or gender equal and all this kind of stuff. But I imagine some people clicked on it thinking like, I want to see this sex robot. I want to see how racist it is. Just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, yes, this is actually a thing. So let's put one of these. Jesus Christ! We did not. Look at him.
What did you do?
What I did do was not do a sound check before we started. Such a giant sound wave. Okay, let's turn this down. Okay. Right, this is a gamble. I think it's going to be quieter at least.
That's better.
Real good story. You just need to. There's some people say you need certain things to be a podcast. Just so long as you enjoy it. Killed off half the listenership. Everyone's dead from good stories. Anyway, on to our feel good stories.
Yeah.
This is potentially political, but I found it funny. The authorities in Iran regularly stop women from entering stadiums because of I'm assuming some kind of belief system,
right?
Either religious or governmental, whatever. But women can't go to football stadiums. Her story should have included her name. Oh no, she hasn't got a name. Her story has been followed closely by Iranians around the world who use the hashtag Blue Girl, a reference to the colours of her favourite team. So there's a football fan. The woman, referred to as Sahar, which isn't her real name, was arrested in March when she tried to enter a football stadium. I think she was in disguise to try and sneak in to watch her favourite football team. After being jailed for 3 days, she was released on bail and waited 6 months for a court case. So this is all pretty weird, especially from our standpoint, where you go like, you're arrested for going to a football match because of your ovaries. Obviously, there's a whole discussion of, you know, equality and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets fun. When she appeared
She was
at court,
actually green.
yeah. When she appeared at court, feel good stories. She found out that the court date was postponed because the judge had a family emergency. But when she was there to pick up her mobile phone, she had to pick up her mobile phone. It is widely reported that she is thought to have overheard someone saying that if she was convicted, she could get 6 months to 2 years in prison for trying to sneak into a stadium.
Christ.
6 months to 2 years in prison. So she set herself alight in front of the courthouse.
Oh, God.
And that's how the article reads.
Yeah.
She thought she might get 6 months to 2 years, so she just set herself alight.
Well, fuck this shit.
Yeah. How flammable can you be?
Yeah, Blue's pretty flammable.
Blue's the most flammable football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm assuming that means she later died in hospital.
Right.
But she didn't want to... I can't remember how politically motivated it was, like to make a stand or to make a point, or that she was just so terrified of it all. But it feels like if you set yourself on fire, it's premeditated enough to be a statement. Right? Because that's the whole Buddhist monk at Tiananmen... Was it Tiananmen Square? Was Tiananmen Square the tank? I think that was the tank. I can't remember.
I don't know.
What was the thing? 7 Psychopaths. They did a really good example of the Buddhist burning himself in a really cool way. But yeah, so she didn't want to... Because the disguise failed, she had to set fire to herself in front of the courthouse. Feel good stories.
Christ.
Yeah. I mean, you could... I don't think if you lit a match and held it to your skin that most people would burst into flame. I don't think they could.
No, maybe
have
just
to
a
have
lot
some
of polyester.
accelerant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the clothes. You could set fire to your clothes, maybe. But clothes can't be flammable as that. It would be impractical.
Yeah, but there was also that bloke that caught fire because he used too much moisturiser.
In bed.
Yeah.
But that was because, like, flame... Right, okay, I know what you're saying. Yeah, his moisturiser soaked into his bed sheets.
Yeah.
And then there was a fire.
Yeah.
And the bed sheets accelerated.
But I mean, you'd assume she'd
blaze.
like it's a horrific way to go, and it's obviously done to make a point, which is probably which I would say is a very good point. Although it's lost on our culture because women are allowed to go to football games. But like, yeah, like she's not exactly going to be just light the sleeve and then like get it going. Like, oh, there we go.
And then I guess you have to die.
Like there's going to be some kind of something involved, some fuel.
Yeah, and she probably didn't bring it in with her.
No,
she probably was like, well, either at the outrage that she could have served that prison sentence and the principle of it being just because she's a woman, or stress or whatever it could be, and then went out, came back, and set herself alight. I feel that's a good way to make a point, though.
Oh, point taken.
Yeah, like if say you say there was a fancy dress this feels really demeaning, but say there was a fancy dress competition and there was a question as to who won. I think the definite winner, if it was a tie break, is the person who then set fire to themselves.
Yeah. If you were
feels disrespectful in some way.
If you were going as the Human Torch,
you'd have to burn to death.
Yeah, well, if you burn to death, you're not the Human Torch, are you?
You're just some guy. If you fly but you fall, you're not the Human Torch. Side note, women in Iran have been stopped from going to stadiums to watch men's sporting events since 1981. So what happened in 1981?
I imagine some kind of regime change. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I guess. Iran. Was this Iran? Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, that means they could have gone to everything before then, and then suddenly they're like, no more women.
I don't like to go...
secret men's stadium.
It's weird. I don't like to go political and shit anymore, like, because it just feels like you're going around in circles. But the amount of people that bitch about fucking sexism in the West, and you've still got shit like this over there, and it's people that and the women in the West are actively trying to like sympathize and empathize with these cultures. It's just like no, like you just. Where's your priorities, man? Like, what do you want?
Well, it's the other thing. There's another article later on that, the whole activism trying to get everybody to be equal, and it's you say, well, if everyone's equal, why is your message important or more important than somebody else's message? If everybody is equal. Like, just say that, if you're trying to say that everyone should be treated the same and say that every race is the same, then why are you also in the same breath identifying and singling out and segregating race?
Yeah.
Or why are you doing the same with gender? It's a weird, confusing message, and I think that's the root of a lot of this. Is it's just confusing.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the everyday person, the more I talk to people, and the more I kind of get used to it, the everyday person doesn't care.
no, it is,
And I
just
think that's a good thing.
Such a small percentage. What the saying is like 10% or
Not that the
8%
everyday
of-
person isn't empathetic, but just that they wouldn't act badly towards this kind of person. They wouldn't act better towards this kind of person. They just don't care.
people.
They've got lives. They've got jobs. They've got families.
Well, the social media thing is something like 3% of Twitter make up 10% or 93% of the
views
of
or
the
something.
Twitters of the tweets.
Yeah.
It's like there's
Yeah.
such a small minority is responsible for all of it, and you get the same for like newspapers, right?
Yeah.
Like a journalist writing a story about how much he hates Twixes
Yeah.
doesn't mean that loads of people hate Twixes.
Yeah.
It's just people get lost in it.
Well, like the world is so much better than it used to be, and no one will acknowledge that.
Well, it's just all this confusion. I mean, I dipped my toe into trying to figure out a little thing about politics this week in a conversation with somebody. And there was a thing about, to briefly touch onto politics, because I don't know anything about it and don't like it. Boris Johnson, who's the current Prime Minister, wants to have a general election
Yeah.
to generate a new Prime Minister,
Yeah.
potentially. He's a Conservative. The Labour Party, who are a competing party, are trying to prevent him from having a general election because they might lose more power.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
shouldn't the Labour Party be trying to get into power to represent their people?
Yeah.
So you go, the only reason, like, everyone should want, if they're not in power, they should want to have an election to be
Well, that's
elected.
the thing. It's
So they're doing
that whole
it
thing
for
is
some kind of surreal sub agenda.
that whole thing is just really backwards with the way that they're putting it forward. Because but in the
It's
same
deliberately
breath
confusing.
that they're saying give the people another vote, they should be able to decide. Which, as far as I'm concerned, even though the vote didn't go the way I voted,
Is this Brexit?
yeah,
Right.
like it's already happened.
Yeah.
Like let's just fucking let it happen. Like in the same breath as they're saying let's give people another vote, let's let the people decide what happens, they're also saying we don't want a general election, which in itself would be letting the people decide what happens.
Exactly. And the reason
It's
is because
just-
they will lose some control. They
Yeah.
think they might lose control. So you go, okay, so you're
Well,
not
so-
trying to represent the people.
Yeah.
You're trying to
If you have so little
maintain
faith in
control.
yourself, why should anybody listen to you?
Or so little faith in the people that you're meant to represent that
Yeah.
you don't think they'll vote for you.
Yeah.
And you think that's a bad thing.
And
You go
this is from two people who, like myself at the very least, but I think I speak for you as well. We stand in the middle and we don't care.
Yeah, I'm very much a bystander who's not paying attention.
Yeah.
And I just think that as an example is proof of how unclear a lot of people's aspirations or ideas or communications are. And I think that's probably the root of a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Like, I get it whenever I speak to somebody you can, like, say if you're going to speak to somebody who's obviously in denial about something. Say they're in denial about, we've spoken briefly with people who are in bad relationships and it's clearly over between them, right? And
Yeah.
you're having a conversation and they're just avoiding admitting what they actually feel.
Yeah.
So having a conversation with that person, they're being deliberately unclear because they don't like or they're not happy with the reality of what's in front of them. So they're trying to avoid it. And it's
Yeah.
the same thing with people who are like politically active about something that they haven't thought through properly. You just go like, should politicians represent the people or should politicians run the country?
Yeah.
And you go, should it be a bit of both? Should it be more of one and less of the other? What should it be? And they go like, well, it's complicated. It's more complicated than that. We need to make the choices for the people. It's like, well, in this case, they've made the choice for you and you're not listening to them. So it becomes all muddied. But it's the same with everything. It's the same with if anybody's talking about something, like say somebody hates, I was the same. I used to hate One Direction, and I've gone over this a few times. I just hated them. I hate boy bands. I hate pop bands. There's a lot of poppy music that I hate, and it makes me feel bad when I listen to it, and I don't enjoy it. I don't understand people enjoy it. But I didn't know why until I sat down and thought about it, and it was like, oh, I don't hate One Direction. I just think it's a cheap, it's a shame that people aren't exploring their creative and emotional side more. And this is the cap. Like, how can anybody feel joy from listening to Cardi B or Katy Perry?
Yeah.
I can't understand. I can't relate to that because my idea of expressing yourself through music is like standing in a room of people screaming and hitting each other. It's because that's me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I can't understand that it's just in a mosh pit or something.
Yeah.
It's really therapeutic. I can't understand how anybody can get that from sat in a really cheap version of music that I deem as cheap and manufactured. But that's only because I thought of it. Before that, whenever anyone brought up One Direction, I always argue with them, and I didn't know why. And it's the same with everyone's political beliefs. You just sit down and think. Just think everything through, and then at least and be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like if people had an idea that they wanted to do and it was unethical, and they admitted it, I'd be like, well, that's at least that's a discussion. But if you're trying to pretend that it's something else and make and confuse people into saying it's something else, it's absolutely daft.
Yeah. Anyway, feel-good stories.
Feel-good stories. So another feel-good stories. A woman has died and 14 others were injured after a giant frying pan filled with dumplings exploded. Feel good. It feels good.
I'm not sure.
Eyewitnesses said the victims were running around like torches. Human torches. At the Backers Fest festival in the village
so they're
of
like covered in
Freudenberg.
burning oil.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
5 are reported to be in life-threatening condition after the blast, after they suffered severe burns. Another one had a heart attack during the explosion. Like, it's a food festival. There's a giant frying pan with dumplings in it. It explodes and people catch fire. People just like heart attack because of the craziness of it's going on.
Yeah.
The accident is thought to have been caused after the hot oil had built up inside the frying pan and it reacted with a few raindrops. The sky exploded this food festival.
Yeah, well, so like water's really bad with oil,
With oil and
like,
stuff. Yeah, it just fell on it and kaboom.
Yeah.
Dumpling! It's pretty fucking horrific. Having a heart attack because of the stress of a disaster, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane. Completely understandable.
Yeah.
But insane. Yeah, the water would have reacted with the intense heat of the fat, causing the water to pull burning fat droplets into the air in a fiery explosions. However, investigators said it would still take several days to confirm the exact cause. Was it the dumplings? Was it the rain? Just life can go south, I think.
Yeah.
Because of the rain.
Yeah.
It seems insane. But hey, food festivals, right? Dangerous place. There wasn't much new stuff this week, so I had a quick look, an old backup, which is I look at news in America. So I just find it interesting, the difference. I just want to say this how different this story is, and can you imagine this ever happening in England? Right. It's not extreme, it's not crazy out there, but it seems very Hollywood, and very much like a film, and very much like there's nothing happening, right?
Yeah.
A fugitive couple wanted for murder could be receiving help from white supremacists.
Okay.
Not based on anything, really. Just, we think they might. Probably white supremacists, says the police.
Well, this is evil. White supremacists are evil.
Yeah. And there's a few of those. Blaine Barksdale, 50... That's a good name for a...
Yeah.
Good old Blaine Barksdale. He's only gone on a murder run. And Susan Barksdale, who are wanted in the murder of Right, I want to say that very clearly. Who are wanted in the murder of a 70-year-old man, escaped custody in Utah while being transported from upstate New York to Arizona.
Did they murder a black guy?
No, it turns out they don't even know if he's been killed. This is what I mean. It's just the stuff that crumbles. Like, oh, he's probably being helped by white supremacists. Why? Well, he just might be.
Yeah.
Okay, you're wanted in the murder. Have you seen the body? No, he might just be missing. So why do you want them for suspected murder at least, guys? Come on, please.
It's like, but there's not even like a shred of anything. Not even like an errant tweet that says like, I don't know, like
here we
motivational Mondays, chilling with the clan, hashtag clan cookout.
Good old barbecue. This is their belief for why it was white supremacists. Somebody like Blaine in prison, ellipsis, would be associated with the Aryan Brotherhoods. So, when he was in prison, he was probably of the Aryan gang. That's what they're saying. That's it. That's their basis of it. Is there's no proof that he was in a white supremacist gang when he was in prison, but he looks like he might have been.
Oh, God.
So now they're going to look at white supremacist gangs.
Right.
I don't think there's any question that there are people that are assisting and harbouring the fugitive couple. I should have structured this better, because later on it goes to say, actually, it'd be very easy to hide out in the rural areas of America without any help. So which is it, Guy?
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? The Barksdales, who were also facing burglary and arson charges, got free during their transport by overpowering 2 security officers and kidnapping them with a 3rd inmate in a prison van. They drove from Utah to Arizona, where they got a pickup truck from a friend. Maybe he's a white supremacist. They later abandoned the locked prison van with 2 officers and a third inmate inside. Even something like that, I've never heard of anything like that happening in the UK. It happened in an episode of the film Porridge. And that's it.
Yeah.
Never heard of people breaking free of armed guard, prison transport. And there must be prison transports.
Oh, yeah.
Between prisons, between court to prison. Never heard of anybody breaking free and running for it.
No.
Maybe it does happen and we just don't know. Like, they don't report it, and, Well, it was that, it was the guy that footballer brought sandwiches for. Big guy. This is a couple of years ago. He shot himself in the head. It was all on telly.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Oh, my God. What was his name? People screaming at us.
I don't know. But sandwich? I don't know anything about
Paul
football.
Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne. No, not Paul Gascoigne. Hang on, I'm going to have to fucking look this up. He was an English striker. English striker brings sandwiches. Raoul Moat was the guy who is the criminal.
Okay.
He ran away from...
the hook guy.
The hook guy, maybe.
Wait, is that... am I thinking of the wrong person?
English striker Raoul Moat. He was... even this guy was released... Raoul Moat was recently released from prison.
Right.
And so he didn't, escape anything. He was released. He then got a shotgun and shot a bunch of people. Killed himself. Who was it that found him? Somebody found him. Gaza. Paul Gascoigne? Gaza.
Yeah.
Paul Gascoigne.
Maybe.
Yeah. So even that, that was probably one of the most prolific recent crime sprees that happened years ago.
Yeah.
Where, he killed a couple of police officers, I think, with a sawn-off shotgun, and then turned the gun on himself, and Paul Gascoigne turned up with sandwiches or something. I don't know, like a travel chess.
Yeah.
And a fishing rod. And let's go fishing, Raoul. That's about as ridiculous as our crime sprees tend to go, it seems. Police believe the couple may be hiding in Arizona. Is that because they drove to Arizona? Could be, right? It is very easy for someone who wants to avoid the law to hide out. Yeah, so, okay. The Barksdale suspects are the Barksdales are suspects in the murder of Frank Blah. B-L-I-G-H. Blah. The previous generation had great names.
Yeah.
Who has not been seen since fire consumed his home. That's what I mean. He hasn't been seen. You could assume he might be murdered, but you can't. They're wanted for murder. They're suspected murder, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. Evidence at Blah home led detectives, probably disrespectful in some way, to determine the fire was intentionally set.
It's only disrespectful if he's actually dead.
Yeah, he's missing.
Yeah.
He's unknown whereabouts.
We can neither confirm nor deny that he's dead.
But we can confirm that he had 100 firearms in his residence and the people stole those.
Right.
So theft.
So he's not
What is the
exactly a
theft?
fucking saint.
Well, you could be a saint
Well,
whilst being armed.
No,
to
it's
the
America,
teeth.
isn't it? You're allowed to have as many guns as you want.
Yeah. 100 seems like a lot.
100 seems like you're planning something.
Well, no, it just in terms of, I guess, unless it was a collection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to play guitar, you don't necessarily have 100 guitars.
No.
Unless you have... Yeah. Seems like a lot, but it could just be a collector of some kind. But yeah, that's what's happening in America. All much more exciting and more Hollywood. Breaking free of prison transport. Setting fire to blah. Running away. But we do have a few bits of audience participation. Oh.
Yeah, so that's better. Audience segment.
Yeah, that's not deafeningly loud.
Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ. I forgot how much I liked this article. I get the feeling you'll like it as well. A woman has been... Women, right? A woman has been denied a second application for a Swiss passport after local residents took offence to her rejection of traditions and her annoying campaigning. So Switzerland, or this area of Switzerland at least, has public approval over whether or not you are allowed citizenship. And this person was a political activist that they didn't like.
Brilliant.
So they didn't. They just
Brilliant.
said, no, you're not going to be a citizen. Yeah. The animal rights activist has campaigned publicly against the local traditions of putting bells on cows' necks and piglet racing. So she's actively campaigned against about those things, and people have been like, "You're just annoying.
Yeah.
You're not Swiss.
Yeah.
You're Dutch, and you will stay Dutch." Basically.
Yeah. Go to Iran. Why don't you just go to Iran? Go and protest against their traditions.
Yeah.
See what happens.
See how flammable you become. You know,
Yeah.
Whatever. She says, the sound that cowbells make is 100 decibel. It is comparable to a pneumatic drill. We also would not want such a thing hanging close to our ears. The animals can carry around 5 kilograms on their neck. It causes friction and burns to their skin. Again, it's a valid point.
Yeah.
So you can't argue
I would
the point.
want to see the numbers that say it's 100 decibels. Like, that's...
Metalhead cows. Because it's a bell. The harder you ring it, the louder it'll be, right? I guess.
Maybe, but it's only capable of so much.
And don't get me wrong, it would be very annoying to have a bell around your neck.
Yeah.
Especially not like a cat's one, but I'd say we're we're about half the size of a cow.
Yeah. Well,
I'd say.
I read a thing today
Probably
that
wrong.
said if space wasn't a vacuum and as such sound could travel through it, the sun would be as loud as a road drill.
Okay.
So you're saying the cow is as loud as the sun?
The sun, but far away.
Yeah.
In Switzerland, local residents have a say in a person's passport application. Her first attempt was made in 2015, and she was approved by local authorities, but rejected by 144 out of 206 residents.
That's I mean, it's not unanimous, but it's
a lot of people.
It's definitely enough to be like, you're a dick.
75%.
I'm not a dick. Oh, I'm a dick.
The data says.
Yeah. Oh, survey says.
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
She says, I think I was too strident and spoke my mind too often. Well, that's a douchey way of saying
shut
you
up.
were being abrasive.
Yeah.
Miss Holton told the local, adding her attention had not been to attack Swiss traditions, but that in case of the cowbell, her complaints had been motivated by animal welfare. Yeah, you can't live here. People's response.
Yeah.
Tanja Suter, the president of the local Swiss People's Party, claimed Miss Holton has a big mouth, and residents had not wanted to give her the gift of citizenship if she annoys us and doesn't respect our traditions.
Man, I wish we could
good.
all do
It's
that. It
so
would be great
good.
to all be able to vote people out of the community.
Well, it's a weird balance, isn't it? Because, I guess this comes back to the thing we were saying about
Actually, no, I take that
politicians.
back. I take that back because then you're creating echo chambers.
Yeah, and it's just there are going to be things that most people won't like right now, but they might like later on.
Yeah.
Like mobile phones weren't liked by lots of people. Lots of tech stuff has been turned off. And if you think about Stoke, everyone would have to be a fan of Robbie Williams or whatever it is. He was Stoke, wasn't he? Mm. Yeah. This it does there's a good part to it, but it's also not for everything. Again, all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Urs Trier, a spokesman for the local government administration in the village, told the local residents that the requirements for the naturalisation have been met, but if a person puts themselves in the spotlight and rebels against accepted traditions in a local community, it can cause the community to not want such a person in their midst. Mm. And if you come in and you say that everyone here is an idiot, you're all fascists, you're all this, and you're doing it to everybody, and then all you're doing is having a go at us, so can you go away, please?
Yeah.
No, we've got a right to be here. Well, we've got the right to throw you out.
Yeah.
Or to not let you in this case, I guess.
And extra insult to injury if you can get a cow to sign it as well.
Quietly,
Yeah.
if you wouldn't mind. And on to the vegans. Finally, vegan activists have separated chickens from cockerels on a Spanish farm so that the hens don't get raped. Because they do not give consent. These chickens don't give consent. In a video released by an anti-speciesist trans-feminist group. So, without getting into too much of the obviously this happens all the time and people are idiots kind of discussions, this is what I mean by just confusing. People are deliberately confusing and inherently confusing because they have no idea what they believe. And They have no idea what they're saying. They're just doing things. And because it's not directed and it doesn't make sense, it just creates confusion. So, anti-speciesists believe that judging types of animals as different to each other or humans is wrong. And again, that's one argument of like, well, if you believe in equality, then surely everybody's voice should be heard, including the cockerels in this situation. You are elevating hens above cockerels in this situation. You are segregating them away from each other because you have classed the cockerels as different to the hens.
Yeah.
You're not making any sense.
Look, I'm okay. I'm with them to a point.
Chickens are getting raped.
I don't like people who
Rape chickens.
I don't like people who don't consider human beings animals, like who
Right.
ignore like our natural kind of connection in the world, and because it leads them to seeing people as kind of above and beyond, as though sentience makes your life more kind of
Valued.
more valued, when actually we're all just fucking specks of dust in the universe. Like I agree, we should be we'd be more valued within our community than a chicken or a dog or something. But that's within us. On the grand scheme of things,
I'd say philosophically, we're all just animals.
Yeah.
But socially we have to structure things in a different way.
But that's where the fucking difference comes in, which is that chickens and any other animal cannot rape each other. That's a human. It's a human invention as to how we define relationships between each other. It's not. It's nothing to do with other creatures and other species.
Yeah, and they've anthropomorphized the situation because they do go into detail and say when they mate, the hens are running away. It's like, well, you're anthropomorphizing that. We've said before that. Do you know this fact about bees? That the queen bee will run as far as possible when she starts a new hive, so that only the fastest, most agile bees.
No, it's the ants. That was the ants.
Oh, the ants, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know this thing about ants? Right.
Flying ant day.
Yeah, that the ant queen will fly as far as and fast as possible.
Welcome everybody to the 4th annual Flying Ant Day.
Yeah. And so they might just be, it might be an evolutionary thing. It might not be, I mean, if they are, maybe, do they really think that they're being forced to mate?
Yeah.
You go, if you believe that to be true, and if that is actually what's happening, it could be a discussion.
Yeah.
But you're just stepping in because you think you know everything, and that's what's and you don't know what you think. It's the whole contradiction of it. In footage, the two activists can be seen smashing eggs on the ground because they belong to the hens. Doesn't make any sense. Why are you smashing the eggs?
That's a waste.
That belong to the hens because you're worried that the hens are victims of rape. Do they think that eggs come from reproduction?
Yeah.
Do they think, I don't understand why are they doing it? Do they think that if a mother, a hen mother wants all their children to die, and therefore these activists are coming in to do it? It makes no sense. Did you see, I can't remember whether I brought it up when it happened, but there was footage of some kind of animal activists raiding a farm and trying to save chickens and ducks. I think it was ducks mainly, rabbits from it. And they chained themselves to machinery and stuff like that. Did I tell you about that?
No.
There's video of it, and it's great. They get there, and it's just a quiet manufacturing plant, so there's no one really aware that they've raided. They've chained themselves to machinery, and the machinery's still going.
Oh.
And they go from being ducks live, rights, don't kill ducks, to, oh my god! They're going around a conveyor belt, and the bike lock around their neck is closing.
Oh my god!
And they're like, "Oh my god! Somebody help! Stop!" And guy comes out what the fuck's going on? You're gonna die! What are you doing? Yeah, you're killing ducks. It's like, yeah, we don't want to kill people. Like, why have you done that? Emergency stop and quick, find the key. But they've like hidden the keys and like moved them around so they can't be released. Oh my god!
This is what you get.
Misguided chaos.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Whatever happened to just chaining yourself to a fence?
Yeah,
Fence ain't gonna kill you.
And that was to get your voice heard. You've now got social media.
Yeah.
You can do that if you want.
I was driving through Sandbach today, and there was a bunch of schoolgirls. I'm assuming they were schoolgirls because they were in school uniform, holding up signs. They were protesting about something on the main road, and the only thing I could gather was that whoever was in charge of the schoolgirls was refusing to open the fire doors. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the context of that is, but as far as I can tell, you've already escaped. So I don't know. I don't know what you're protesting against at this point.
More air.
Yeah,
More ventilation.
It was still effective. Like,
yeah,
I still stopped and I saw, and all they were doing was standing at the roadside holding up signs.
Yeah,
it's like,
again,
that still works.
Not knowing what you believe.
No one had to die.
No one had to chain themselves to a moving machinery.
Yeah.
And then just assume that it wasn't going to be on during working hours. You go like, come on, guy.
Yeah.
Please think this through.
Morons.
Anyway, with this is a statement that they made, which again is just confusing. Either you are a vegan or you help to finance animal slavery because eating animals is fascist.
Oh
Again,
my God.
It's just another statement where you go like, that makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. You're just saying something that you don't understand.
Yeah.
And it means nothing.
No.
And anybody who hears it is going to write you off as a moron because it's a moronic statement to make.
Yeah.
According to reports, the vegan group has recently appeared on several Spanish television shows, including the popular talk show Todo es una mentira. I can't do the rolling R's, which is everything is a lie, where they believed they were ridiculed by the presenter. We think we were ridiculed by that show. Social media responded with, "Is this a joke? You're crazy." They said afterwards, "We knew they would make fun of us, but we wanted to use the platform to spread our message anyway. So you wanted to smash raped hens' eggs in order to spread your message. Doesn't feel very equal."
No.
It's just misguided stuff of people.
Yeah.
Again, just please think things through. Think about it. At least be able to articulate clearly what you're doing and why, instead of just doing something.
Yeah.
It's a through line throughout this whole thing. Don't subscribe to Yell for 52 quid a month because you think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Just think about why, and then just think. You've got time to think now. Everything's becoming more autonomous. You can just think and try and figure out what it is you want to be doing instead of just going along and doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's my rant over.
Yeah.
So at least the chickens are separated from the cockerels. Is a hen a chicken?
A hen is a female chicken.
Right. What's a wren?
A completely different bird.
Fine. They're all equal, mate. I mean, don't treat them as different.
No, I won't.
Everyone's a chicken.
Yeah.
Which also means everyone's a raping cockerel. Make up your mind! Anyway.
All right. Quick scum, because we got Bill Burr coming up. Not on the show.
No.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
Some states grow so much zucchini that people can randomly find baskets or bags full of them in the back seats of their cars if they forget to lock them.
They've just got so much they're just breaking into people's cars or entering people's cars and giving it to them.
Yeah, in certain states, like, there's just so much zucchini that you just...
In the same way that Denver's got so much tax money, they just start giving it to people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Might as well give zucchinis back.
Yeah. But I don't really want people putting zucchinis in my car on a hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a good surprise, could be a bad surprise. You know, it wouldn't help people with mental health disorders.
Yep.
The world hates me because my car is doing my grocery shopping for me, giving me zucchinis, which are aubergines, I think. Or are they a totally different thing?
Oh, I don't know. Green, long, kind of looks like a cucumber.
Green. Oh yeah.
But
yeah. What's American for aubergine? Because they don't say aubergine.
I don't know.
Eggplant.
Eggplant.
There you go.
Right. Okay.
Right. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Ed Kemper, the serial... you watch...
Yeah, Mindhunter. That guy's a legend.
Yeah, Ed Kemper, the serial killer who killed his grandparents and mother, amongst many others, voiced hundreds of audiobooks for the blind.
Yeah, I don't know how. I've only known him through Mindhunter, but
Yeah.
he's a pretty amazing person. Like in the TV series, anyway. He's the point between the FBI have only ever at that point they're interviewing serial killers. They've only ever at that point they've only interviewed serial killers who've got caught, and Ed Kemper just gave himself in. So he's like, I would have kept on killing.
Yeah.
And I think he decapitated his mother's head and fucked it. And did loads of fucked up shit like that. So and eventually he just liked, and he's like a really nice guy in the prison. Just like he knows he's on first name basis with like the guards and stuff like that. He's just like, I'm openly a murderer. So just I'm in prison, should be in prison, but hey, got bored.
That's interesting.
So So it makes sense that you kind of want to get his
he organised all the prisoners, and they all picked books and like we're gonna do like loads of them apparently, and like got released publicly. Many publishers used them. Like
and and Mindhunter's based off a book, and I think he was like the first serial killer they were interrogating that actually was open about all the craziness of psychopaths and all that. So he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Who was your cool guy serial killer growing up? Every metalhead had one.
Did we?
Somewhere. Well, it's one of those things where it was like Rob Zombie films eventually started becoming a thing, and then like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All the girls I grew up with anyway were always into horror films. And then I think Mudvayne had a song about Ed Gein, who was like one of the people who would like skin victims and put them on lampshades and stuff.
I don't know if I had one. I was quite innocent in that respect.
You just watched a lot of Peep Show.
Yeah. It's like it took me a while to come around to the bad guys, I think.
Well, Dexter was your uni thing.
Yeah. Probably Trinity, and that was my favourite.
Yeah.
He was just he was perfect.
Yeah, it's a good series. John Lithgow's a weird one. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes you're like, what's going on? But Dexter's great, always happened.
Several years ago, during a heated argument on a tram, a Toronto mother clubbed another woman with her 3-year-old daughter. Like, just picked her up by the legs. Her own daughter.
Home run.
Yeah.
I'm taking this to third base at least to smack.
How angry do you have to be
to
betray the love of your child?
Smash your child in the face with another person.
Yeah.
You'd expect it would be head.
Yeah.
Like hold onto the legs and smash it.
Yeah.
Because that's what clubbing is. It's not like she shoved. No, she like clubbing implies there was a swing at least.
The weight at the end, so that would be the head. Yeah. It always just reminded me of that thing from the last. Not the last Bill Burr special, the black and white one.
Yeah.
It's like when he goes and threatens the kid at the school. It's like, I'm going to beat you to death with a family dog.
Yeah, I'll beat your mother to death with a family dog. Yeah, pretty on a tram as well. There's not much swinging space.
No,
pretty confined.
And there's those bars like going down that you hold on to. Like very easy to smack the head on the bar on the way round on that swing.
A headbutt would have been much more appropriate.
Oh yeah. You're on a tram.
In every regard.
Just push her off it.
Put her on shove her into the electrical cables.
Yeah,
be fine. But yeah, pretty big extreme to go.
Yeah. In the US and Europe, metal retrieved from cremated bodies is melted down and turned into plane parts, car parts, and road signs. I guess that's like fillings and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's iron in your blood or something. Oh no, but it would be like
fillings. Be able to retrieve it. So yeah, I guess it's stuff.
Jewelry.
Now, that fact was from like discussions with a morgue person. It's a video on YouTube with a mortician.
Right, we chat with morticians.
With a mortician, and they were telling you what they do, and there was like like removing fillings and metal teeth, and I guess like if people have broken bones where they're like pinned together and stuff like that.
Titanium plating and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean it's like in the war, like they'd melt down anything that was metal.
Yeah, I guess, and that's definitely
not why bury it. Yeah, makes sense.
It's not part of them, really.
No,
you could definitely
taking it back.
It's not. I don't know if it's a step towards eating the dead. that we mentioned last time, but I don't think it is because that like a type like a what do they call it, like a pin, pin in your knee or something. It's not part of their personality.
No.
You could easily remove it. They're not using it anymore. Same as their clothes. Yeah, it'd be the same as clothing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take it and use it for something better.
Yeah. Why not?
Recycling.
Yeah, road signs. Oh, that sign for the M6.
Yeah, I want to be on the M6.
Yeah.
One of those shit ones that's like been winded in half. That's my cousin's leg.
And finally, a diving horse was an attraction that was popular in the mid-1880s, in which a horse would dive into a pool of water, sometimes from as high as 60 feet.
Dive, fall.
I saw a picture
pushed.
of this, and it's a giant wooden ramp, and I guess they just coaxed the horse up the ramp. But the picture was taken like halfway through the dive, and it's just a pool of water with this white horse, like,
Right, 60 feet. 60 feet. That's
twice
like
as
10
high,
people.
twice as high as this house.
Right. Still high.
High.
Still high. Maybe not incredibly high. Like, I imagine you could have a human diving board that high.
I'm sure much higher than a horse wants to be.
Yeah, I don't think this horse has consented to this as much as maybe
This is rape. Well, all right, it's not rape, but it's not good.
Either you're vegan or you're a fascist. Jeez. But yeah, I kind of think that it would be entertainment. People would go and see it.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. Wouldn't be the most high quality entertainment. But if you're on a event and someone said, do you want to watch this horse fall and jump in, dive into water from 60 feet, you'd be like, yeah, it'd be over pretty quick. And either it would be a good or a bad result.
Yeah.
It missed the pool.
I'm never sure about horses, man. I don't like. I don't mind them as animals, like really like nice looking things, and let them be wild and free and all of that. But I don't trust them for a second. Like they just seem very unpredictable to me. It's just like this is the most powerful motorbike on the market, and at some point it might just do what it wants. I don't want to be on a horse.
I think there is an aspect of jealousy and inequality in that, especially of like. There are some horses that are going to be less than 1 horsepower, and that just gives them an inferiority complex, I think. I went to the horse races thing recently for a do.
Oh yeah,
and it was weird because horses don't run as fast as you think they do. Well, as I thought they do. I assume they'd run like really fast.
Yeah.
But then you think, well, a horse might run 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Still pretty fast. But if you're used to sitting by the side of the road or driving a car, just perspective just changes.
Yeah.
That's not very fast. But I remember I did a bet on a horse that was like 150 to 1. I was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be my lucky day. I'm not a lucky person. But I was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be great. And then as they were putting them in the boxes, the 150 to 1 horse was going in reverse. As in, like, they were pushing him into the box, and he was like, no. I'm like, I don't think it's going to win. Either it's going to win by a mile, as in it's going to be so relieved to be out of this box, it's going to zoom away, or it's just not going to be arsed. And sure enough, it didn't want to do anything. It came from the bloodline of the falling horses of yonder.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not running up this. There might be a ramp at the end of this. I don't want to get wet.
I went to like greyhound races once. Those fuckers are quick. Like those things are fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. There seems more incentive at a greyhound race for them to actually run. It's like it's a fucking rabbit. Just like chase the rabbit.
Meanwhile, horse racing, they're just running away from someone on the back.
We're running because you've told me to run and because you won't stop kicking me.
Yeah. I did find myself thinking that they should do people racing. And then I remember that they kind of do that at the Olympics. But just people. Yeah. Just put people in the track and then make them run.
Just random people. It'd be great.
Let people bet on it.
Yeah, and like you get like a rundown of their bloodline. Like
But like most of the races, most people, they just bet based on the name.
Yeah.
So I can imagine doing that and then looking over and just seeing like me and being like, oh, he's not going to win. And then like he does and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Or it's just like, nah, you shouldn't.
Well, he might not win, but he's going to set himself on fire.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a lucky person. I found So I find
every now and again when the
shouldn't do a lot of
lottery
stuff.
results get like, oh, it's going to be £110 million this week.
Yeah.
You'd be like, all right, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Just for a chance, but
Yeah.
no. Then I had a boring car incident, not like an exciting watching people die, or as you asked. I had a flat tire when I was driving this. It was a stag do. I was driving a stag do to the casino from the horse races.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a flat. And it wasn't even an exciting, because I've had one in the past where I've span.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
fall, nearly, I'm surprised I survived. And that was like, oh, I'll just pull over. And I guess that's what being an adult is now. Just everything still happens, but now it's incredibly dull. Like before, you'd have like an exciting adventure. You'd have the most amazing meal in the world. And now you're just like, oh, I've had carbonara.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Oh, I had a flat tire and I didn't even nearly die. Then just pull over.
Yeah.
Bunch of drunk stag do people trying to fix a flat tire while afraid that the police are going to come. Why are you worried? Well, tires. If the police come, they'll arrest us. I think they might help, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'd be fine.
Yeah.
No police came. Then, bad horse reversing and flat tires. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Burr out tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch a
Paper
bit of
Tiger!
Paper Tiger. And more. So I don't want to overhype it, because I don't know very little about it apart from watching some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, something about. I mean, people. So I think Norm Macdonald recently tweeted that Dave Chappelle is the greatest comedian out there at the moment, and you go, I do agree. Dave Chappelle is amazing, but there's just something can't quite put my finger on the connection. I think it's kindred spirits, or idolized kindred spirits, that we like to think there's a little bit of Bill Burr in us, or there's a little bit of us in Bill Burr, of just frustration at the world and just the way it's articulated and thought through.
He's like it's probably the same for you, but I've been watching him for as long as my adult sense of humor has been developing. Like, you have your kid one, and then you have it as it kind of develops as an adult, and like, he's been one of the guys that's kind of been at the center of it, of like the things I find funny.
Well, I had like Eddie Izzard and Jack D, we had that, and then growing up in like Monty Python and TV shows, and there was that kind of humor, comedy kind of aspect. But I think Bill Burr's definitely
it's more of a worldview.
It is the adult thought through thinking of things, and it just makes sense. So much of it makes sense, and it not in terms of political message, but just in terms of thinking something through honestly. And just being like, it's okay. It's not, you can talk about anything. You can say whatever you want. You can explore any idea. It was just like, just the instinctive reactions that he has, we also share on a lot of stuff. So we've been big fans of him for a while. So it'd be interesting to see his new special. Never had a special of his been full flat. No. So should be a good night. Wings. It's something.
All right. I've been at Sing It Steve.
I'm at Nick Snip.
You can reach us at wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com on the emails.
We're Instagram at pullingteethpod and on Twitter at pullingteethpod. And we've got a website now. pullingteethpodcast.com. If you want to check it out.
Join the Facebook group. Have a look at the articles. Join in some conversations. That'd be fun.
Yes. If you want to help, if you want to show support, then give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. Or an Apple review. But it's no pressure. We're going to do it anyway. But if you want to show support, then that's the best way to do it for us. Some people have asked.
So until then, we're going to go watch Bill Burr. You should do the same. See you next week.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.